My friends, welcome to Soul Tranquility Space. Tonight, we are going to redesign the blueprint of your mind. We live in a world that is obsessed with more. Higher buildings, faster cars, louder voices, bigger dreams. We are taught that success looks like a skyline, crowded, impressive, and constantly reaching for the clouds. But deep down, there is a part of you that knows the truth. You know that true success isn't about how much space you occupy in the world. It is about how much peace you can hold in your heart. Before we meet the architect, let us first find the foundation for your own rest tonight. I invite you to lie down and surrender your weight to the bed. Imagine your body is a building that has been standing tall all day. You have been holding up walls. You have been supporting ceilings. You have been resisting the gravity of stress. But now, the workday is over. The construction site is closed. It is time to take down the scaffolding. Take a deep breath in, imagining you're unbolting the tension in your shoulders. And exhale. Letting the structure soften. Inhale. Breathing space into the tight corners of your mind. Exhale, letting the floor support you completely. You don't have to be tall. Right now, you just have to be here. You are safe. You are grounded. You are ready to build something new. Now, let your imagination travel. Picture a man standing by a large glass window in a penthouse office. This is the architect. For 30 years, he has shaped the skyline of the city. He has drawn lines that turned into steel. He has sketched curves that turned into glass. He is famous. He is respected. He is successful. But as he looks out at the city he helped build, he feels crowded. The lights are too bright. The noise is a constant hum that never sleeps. He realizes that he has spent his life building cages for people to work in, boxes for people to live in. He has built everything except a home for himself. Not a house. A home. A place where his soul can take off its shoes. So, he makes a decision. It is a quiet decision. No press conference, no announcement. He simply rolls up his most important blueprints. Not plans for a tower, but a sketch of a small wooden cabin. He packs a bag. He takes his grandfather's old toolbox and he leaves. Imagine the drive away from the city. It is a journey of unraveling. At first, the highway is wide and busy. 6 lanes of traffic, all rushing to be somewhere. But mile by mile, the road begins to narrow. 6 lanes become 4. 4 become 2. The concrete gives way to asphalt. The asphalt gives way to dirt and gravel. The grey buildings fade in the rearview mirror, replaced by the deep, soothing green of the hills. The air changes. Can you smell it? It no longer smells of exhaust and hot pavement. It smells of damp earth. It smells of pine needles baking in the sun. It smells of freedom. The architect arrives at his destination in the late afternoon. It is a plot of land nestled in a valley, surrounded by ancient cedar trees. There is nothing here. No electricity, no internet, no noise, just a field of wild grass swaying in the breeze, turning gold in the setting sun. He turns off the car engine. Click. The silence that follows is sudden and profound. It is not an empty silence. It is a full silence. It is filled with the chirping of crickets, the rustle of leaves, and the beating of his own heart. He steps out of the car. His leather shoes crunch on the dry grass. He takes a deep breath, filling his lungs with the cool, clean air. For the first time in years, he feels his shoulders drop about 2 inches. He is no longer the architect of skyscrapers. He is just a man standing in a field. And that is enough. Sometimes, to find yourself, you don't need to add anything. You need to subtract. You need to unbuild the layers of expectation. You need to peel away the titles, the roles, the masks you wear for the world. Think about your own life right now. What are you holding on to just because it looks impressive? What would happen if you put it down? The architect looks at the empty space before him. Most people would see nothing. He sees potential. He sees a blank canvas where he can finally paint his truth. He sets up a small tent for the night. He doesn't need luxury tonight. He needs proximity to the earth. He builds a small fire. He sits on a log watching the flames dance. In the city, He used to drink expensive wine at gala dinners. Here, he drinks cool water from a metal canteen, and somehow the water tastes sweeter than the wine ever did. Why? Because he is thirsty and he is drinking with attention. He pulls out his sketchbook. In the flickering firelight, he looks at the drawing of the cabin. It is small, humble, just one room, a pitched roof, a large window facing the sunrise, a porch for sitting. It is simple. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. He realizes that he doesn't need 50 rooms to be happy. He needs one room that feels right. He runs his hand over the paper. Tomorrow, the work begins. But not. The frantic work of the city, with deadlines and shouting foremen. This will be slow work. Work that honors the material. Work that honors the silence. As the fire dies down to glowing embers, the architect looks up. Without the city lights to drown them out, the stars are magnificent. Millions of diamonds scattered on a velvet cloth. The Milky Way stretches across the sky like a river of light. He feels small, and in that smallness, he feels a tremendous sense of relief. He doesn't have to carry the world on his shoulders. The universe is holding everything perfectly fine, without his help. He crawls into his tent. The ground is hard, but the air is soft. He closes his eyes. For the first time in decades, his mind is not racing with blueprints of tomorrow. His mind is resting in the blueprint of now. We often think success is about what we achieve during the day, but perhaps the true measure of success is how peacefully we sleep at night. If you can lay your head down with a clear conscience and a quiet heart, you have won. The architect drifts off. Outside, the wind whispers through the cedar trees, singing a lullaby of beginnings. The city is far away. The peace is right here. The sun rises over the ridge. It doesn't burst up like an alarm clock. It spills over the mountains like warm honey, slowly filling the valley with light. The architect wakes up. His body feels stiff from the hard ground, but his mind feels incredibly clear. In the city, he used to wake up to emails, news, and urgent demands. Here, he wakes up to the dew on the grass. He makes a cup of coffee. He holds the warm mug with both hands, watching the steam rise and disappear into the morning air. He realizes he has no schedule today, no meeting at 9 o'clock, no site inspection at 11 o'clock. He only has the work his hands want to do. He walks to the center of the clearing. It is time to lay the foundation. In his old life, foundations were made of concrete. Concrete is liquid stone. It is poured. It is fast. It is uniform. It is perfect. But concrete has no soul. It hides the earth. For this cabin, he chooses stone. He walks to the riverbed nearby and begins to select rocks. He chooses them carefully. Some are grey and smooth. Some are rough and covered in dried moss. Some are heavy and jagged. He carries them back, one by one. Lift, walk, place. Lift, walk, place. It is heavy work. Sweat begins to form on his brow. But he loves it. This is honest work. There is no trickery here. Just the weight of the stone and the strength of his muscles. He begins to arrange the stones to form the base of his home. Unlike bricks, which are all the same shape, these stones are all different. They don't fit together easily. He has to turn them, rotate them, listen to them. He realizes that building a life is like building a stone wall. You cannot force things to fit. You cannot force a square peg into a round hole. You have to find the right place for each piece. Sometimes you have to accept that there will be gaps. In the city, he tried to seal every gap to make everything airtight and perfect. Here, he leaves small spaces between the stones. Let the earth breathe, he thinks. When we allow our lives to have gaps, gaps of silence, gaps of rest, the structure actually becomes stronger. Rigidity cracks. Flexibility survives. By midday, the foundation is laid. It is low, strong, and beautiful in its irregularity. It looks like it grew out of the ground, not placed on it. Now, he turns to the wood. He has a stack of cedar beams waiting. Cedar is a noble wood. It resists the rot. It smells of eternity. He picks up his grandfather's old hand plane. It is a simple tool, a block of wood with a sharp blade at the bottom. No electricity, no noise, just the power of the hand. He places a rough beam on his sawhorse. The wood is furry, rough, and splintered. He places the plane on the wood. He pushes, swish, A long, thin curl of wood shaving rises up and falls to the ground like a ribbon. Swish. Another curl. The sound is rhythmic, hypnotic, like the breathing of the forest. With every stroke, the rough surface is stripped away, revealing the smooth, golden grain underneath. The architect pauses to look at the shaving in his hand. It is thin, fragrant, and delicate. He realizes that he is doing the same thing to himself. For years, he built up layers of roughness to protect himself in the corporate world. Layers of cynicism, layers of pride, layers of defense. But out here in the silence, those layers are being planned away. Swish. There goes the need to be right. Swish. There goes the need to be admired. Swish. There goes the fear of not being enough. He is finding the smooth, true grain of his own soul underneath. He is becoming softer. He touches the wood he has just planed. It is as smooth as silk. It feels warm. He didn't add anything to the wood to make it smooth. The smoothness was always there, hidden under the rough exterior. Your peace is the same. You don't need to go out and buy peace. You don't need to achieve peace. You just need to gently shave away the noise that is covering it up. He comes across a knot in the wood, a dark, swirling circle in the middle of the straight grain. In his skyscrapers, knots were considered defects. They would be cut out or covered up. He wanted everything straight, linear, and flawless. But here, his finger traces the knot. He remembers what a knot actually is. A knot is the base of a branch that once grew there. It is the memory of a limb that reached for the sunlight. It is proof that the tree had a difficult history, that it grew sideways to find the light. The knot is the hardest part of the wood. It is the strongest part. The beauty of scars. He decides not to cut it out. He decides to place this beam right above the doorway, where he will see it every day. He wants to honor the knot, just as he is learning to honor the knots in his own life. The failures, the heartbreaks, the mistakes. These are not defects. These are the places where you grew. These are the places where you had to be strong. A piece of wood without knots is boring. A life without scars is shallow. He smiles. He is building a house of wabi-sabi, the Japanese art of finding beauty in imperfection. He is building a house that tells the truth. The afternoon sun turns golden and begins to dip behind the cedars. The air fills with the intoxicating scent of fresh cedar shavings. It is a clean, sharp, peppery smell. It clears the sinuses and calms the mind. The architect looks at his pile of finished beams. They are not many. A machine could have done this in 10 minutes. It took him 5 hours. But he is not tired in the way he used to be. He is good tired. His body aches with the pleasant hum of usage. He feels connected to the material. He feels the vibration of the wood in his palms. He has put his own energy into the fibers of his home. He sits down on the stone foundation he built. He wipes his hands on his trousers. He watches the dust motes dancing in the shafts of sunlight. He realizes that for 30 years he was an architect of space. He worried about square footage, height, and volume. But today, he has become an architect of time. He is designing a life where time is not a resource to be spent, but a landscape to be inhabited. He isn't rushing to finish the house, because if he finishes the house, the building part will be over. And he is loving the building. He is loving the process. The joy is in the doing. We are always waiting for the moment when we are done, when the house is built, when the money is saved, when the kids are grown. We think happiness is waiting at the finish line. But the architect sits on his unfinished wall and feels perfectly happy. Because happiness is found in the shaving of the wood. It is found in the lifting of the stone. It is found in the single focused moment of doing. If you are washing the dishes, find the joy in the warm water. If you are walking to work, find the joy in the rhythm of your steps. Don't wait for the house to be finished. Live in the construction site. And as you sit here in this moment of quiet construction, consider this. Just as the architect places each stone with intention, we are placing these stories here for you. If this space has helped you find a moment of calm today, you can leave a quiet mark of your presence. A gentle like or a subscription to our channel is like placing your own stone in this foundation of peace we are building together. It allows us to construct more shelters for your mind, one story at a time. And as you sit here in this moment of quiet construction, consider this just as the architect places each stone with intention. We are placing these stories here for you. If this space has helped you find a moment of calm today, you can leave a quiet mark of your presence. A gentle like or a subscription to our channel is like placing your own stone in this foundation of peace we are building together. It allows us to construct more shelters for your mind, one story at a time. The sun finally sets. The air cools down instantly. He gathers his tools. He places the plane back in the box with reverence. Thank you, tool. He covers the wood with a tarp. He lights his fire again. Tonight, the fire feels like a celebration, not of a completed project, but of a well-lived day. He looks at the stars appearing again. He feels the solid stones of the foundation beneath his boots. He has started, and the start is a victory in itself. Weeks have passed. The cabin is rising from the earth. The stone foundation is solid. The cedar beams are locked in place. The skeleton of the house stands tall against the green hills. But a house is not a home until it has eyes. Today, the architect is installing the great window. In his city apartments, windows were often used for two things: to look down on the world below, or to look at his own reflection in the glass at night. They were windows of separation. But this window is different. It is a single, large pane of clear glass, facing east, facing the sunrise, facing the trees, facing the mountains. He lifts the heavy glass carefully. It requires balance. It requires focus. He slides it into the wooden groove he carved yesterday. Slide. Thud. It fits perfectly. He secures the frame. He steps back to look, and suddenly, the view changes. Before, the forest was just outside. Now, framed by the cedar wood, the forest has become a painting. The frame gives the view context. It invites the eye to focus. He realizes that life is very much like this window. The world is vast and chaotic. It is too much to take in all at once, but we have the power to choose where we place our frame. If you frame the traffic and the noise, your life looks chaotic. If you frame the single flower growing through the pavement, your life looks hopeful. You cannot change the view, but you can change the frame. For years, he framed his life around ambition and competition, and all he saw was a race. Now, he frames his life around stillness, and all he sees is beauty. He wipes a smudge off the glass with a cloth. Clarity. That is what we are all searching for. Not more things to look at, but a clearer way to see. As he finishes sealing the window, the light in the valley begins to change. The golden sun is swallowed by soft grey clouds. Rolling in over the mountains, the air grows heavy and still. The temperature drops. The smell of the air shifts instantly. It is the smell of petrichor, the scent of dry earth gratefully receiving the first drops of water. It smells of ozone, wet stone, and crushed leaves. It is the perfume of the storm. The architect looks up. He feels a single drop of rain on his cheek. Cool, refreshing. Then another on his hand. Plip. He gathers his tools quickly. He steps inside the cabin. The roof is on. It is made of tin sheets. Simple and durable. He brings his chair inside. He sits down in the center of the unfinished room, facing the great window, and then the sky opens up. The sound is magnificent. It creates a barrier of white noise that shuts out everything else. Inside, it is dry. Outside, the world is being washed. He watches the rain streak against the glass of his new window. He sees the trees dancing in the wind, drinking the water. But he is safe. He feels a profound sense of shelter. In the city, when it rained, he would run. He would hail a taxi. He would complain about his wet shoes. Rain was an inconvenience. But here, rain is a performance. And he has the best seat in the house. He realizes that this feeling of safety doesn't come from the thickness of the walls. The walls are thin. Safety comes from knowing that you have built a place that can hold you. Your internal peace is your roof. If your internal roof is strong, The storms of life can pour down. Stress, bad news, difficult people. But they cannot touch you. You can sit inside yourself, dry and warm, and watch the storm pass. You don't have to go out and fight the rain. You just have to wait it out. He reaches for a thermos he brought with him. He pours a cup of hot tea. Steam rises, mingling with the cool, damp air drifting in from the doorway. He takes a sip. The warmth spreads through his chest. He leans back in his chair. He closes his eyes and just listens. Drum, drum, splash. The rhythm is chaotic yet perfect. It is the heartbeat of nature. It slows down his own pulse. His breathing synchronizes with the rain. Inhale, peacefulness. Exhale, tension. He thinks about the skyscrapers he built. They were hermetically sealed. You couldn't hear the rain inside them. You couldn't open the windows. They were disconnected from the elements. Here, he feels every shift in the weather. He feels more human. He realizes that comfort is not about being cut off from nature. Real comfort is being close to nature, but protected from it. It is the balance between exposure and safety. The rain continues for an hour. The architect doesn't check his phone. He doesn't read a book. He does something he hasn't done since he was a child. He does nothing. He practices the Italian art of dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. He simply exists. He is a human being held by a wooden box in the middle of a wet forest. And in this moment, he feels wealthier than any billionaire. He owns his time. He owns his attention. He owns the peace of the rain. What is the most expensive thing in the world? It is not gold. It is attention. Everyone wants your attention. Advertisers, bosses, screens. To be able to sit for an hour and give your full attention to the sound of rain. That is the ultimate luxury. That is the new success. Gradually, the drumming on the roof softens. It turns into a gentle patter. Then, silence returns. But it is a different silence. Now, it is a wet silence. The world is dripping. The architect opens his eyes. Through the great window, he sees a miracle. The clouds are breaking apart. and a shaft of late afternoon sunlight pierces through, illuminating the wet leaves. Everything is glittering. The greens are greener. The browns are richer. The world has been washed clean, just like his mind. He stands up and walks to the doorway. He takes a deep breath. The air is cool, oxygen-rich, and incredibly sweet. He looks at the muddy boots he left by the door. He smiles. He is building a home. But the home is also building him. Every nail he drives is a thought he secures. Every board he planes is a worry he removes. He is becoming the quiet architect of his own soul. The season turns. The leaves outside have changed from green to gold, and then to the deep rust of late autumn. And finally, the work is done. The quiet architect stands in the center of his finished home. It is not a palace. It is not a skyscraper. It is a small, perfect box of cedar and stone, holding its ground against the vastness of the valley. But inside, it feels like a cathedral of peace. The air smells of seasoned wood and beeswax polish. The floorboards are smooth and warm under his bare feet. The great window frames the darkening sky, where the first stars are beginning to bloom. He does not feel the rush of achievement he used to feel in the city. There is no champagne. There is no ribbon cutting. There is only a quiet, deep hum in his chest. It is the feeling of arrival. He realizes that he hasn't just built a house. He has built a container for his own spirit. He has built a place where he can finally put down the heavy suitcase of his identity. He walks to the large armchair by the fireplace. This is the heart of the home. He sits down. Sigh. The chair holds him. The house holds the chair. The earth holds the house, and the universe holds the earth. He is part of this great, unbreakable chain of support. He lights a single candle on the table. The flame flickers once, then steadies. A small pool of golden light creates a circle of warmth in the room. Outside that circle, the shadows are soft and welcoming. Now, my friends, I invite you to become the architect. Lie in your bed and feel the structure of your own body. Your body is the house you live in. And tonight, it is time to turn off the lights in the house. Bring your attention to your feet. They have walked far today. They have carried the weight of your ambitions. Imagine the lights in the basement of your body dimming down. Let the muscles in your feet soften, spread, and sink into the mattress. Let the tension drain out of your toes, dripping away like melting wax. Your foundation is settling. You are grounded. Bring your attention to your spine. This is the central pillar of your temple. It has held you upright against gravity. But now, gravity is your friend. Imagine unhooking the muscles along your back, one by one. Let the pillar rest. Feel your back widening, melting into the support beneath you. There is no need to hold anything up anymore. The bed is doing all the work. Trust the support. Bring your attention to your hands, the tools of your trade, the makers, the doers. Let them rest by your sides. Imagine your fingers uncurling like leaves at sunset. They are empty. Now, they're not holding a phone. They are not holding a steering wheel. They are not holding a worry. They are simply resting on the surface of the world, soft, still, useless in the most beautiful way. And finally, bring your attention to your mind, the attic of the house, the place where all the blueprints and plans are kept. Imagine you are walking up the stairs to this attic. It is filled with drawings of tomorrow, sketches of yesterday. But you don't need them tonight. Imagine you are gently rolling up each blueprint, putting them away in the drawers, closing the drawers. Click. Turning off the desk lamp. Click. Walking out of the room and closing the door. The mind is now quiet. The plans are safe, but they are sleeping. Before we drift completely into the night, take a moment to honor this sanctuary you have built. If this cabin feels like a place where your soul can rest, if you wish to find your way back here, Whenever the world gets too loud, gently tap the like or subscribe button now. Think of it not as a digital click, but as leaving a small light on the porch, a signal to your future self that this door is always open, a promise that peace is always waiting for you right here. You are home. You are drifting now. You are floating in the center of your own sanctuary. Notice the darkness behind your eyelids. It is not empty darkness. It is a velvet darkness. It is rich. It is warm. It wraps around you like a heavy, soft quilt. Imagine the candle in the architect's cabin. Watch the flame. It is burning slower and slower. It is not going out. It is just becoming softer. The light is changing from gold to a deep, sleepy amber. Everything is blurring. The edges of the room are dissolving. The walls are dissolving. There is no inside. There is no outside. There is only peace. You are sinking deeper into this peace. With every breath, you become heavier, heavier than the stones of the foundation, softer than the cedar wood, quieter than the night sky. You are not doing sleep. You are becoming sleep. Sleep is a landscape, and you have just walked into the valley. The fog of rest is rising up to meet you. Cool, mist-like, soothing. It covers your legs. It covers your chest. It covers your eyes. Drifting, floating, sinking. You are the quiet architect, and your work is done. The house stands silent in the night. The stars watch over the roof. The earth holds the floor, and you are free to drift away. Nothing to build, nothing to fix, nothing to be. Just this. Success is stillness. Success is silence. Success is sleep.